Alright everybody, welcome back. We're now moving on to the snow end in sight.
I'm flying blind here. Unfortunately, turning these things off isn't as easy as unplugging them. They seem to be running on some sort of battery.
And now we need to go and destroy more stuff. So we're going to go and locate that stuff and take it down. There are a series of collectibles littered around the map. Some of them are activated and some of them are not. That one that was phased out, I think, is one that we hadn't activated yet. So I'm not really too worried about that. Okay, so if you look here, I'm going to try this death from above approach, which should be okay as long as there aren't a bunch of guys who can shoot snowballs at us and get decent range on those. We got better range on these things than I thought. Okay, well, we'll just go down and engage here. There we go. We took care of a lot of the problem. Not all of it, evidently. And now I just need to bust this up.
Why didn't I think of that?
And there are 4 more just like it.
Color me embarrassed.
So welcome back to Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes playset. We're running around as the Falcon, trying to do the various story missions that are here. Except for that one brief time when we were Iron Man in order to beat that mid-tier boss. If you want some sort of timestamp, today is February 5th. As far as the recording of the narration is concerned. And the Super Bowl ads for both Captain Marvel and Avengers 4 occurred over the weekend, and no, I didn't see either of them. I'm still mostly keeping on my blackout policy with regard to the major Marvel outings that I'm planning to see. I don't mind spoilers, or some spoilers for sort of Captain Marvel's story, simply because I don't know exactly how they're going to handle that. And I had no problem talking about the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer and some of the Ultimate Alliance videos. It's a movie that's further in the future, and it's also a movie that I don't know if I'm actually going to get to go see in theaters. I didn't ultimately get to see Homecoming in theaters, but that didn't mean that I liked Homecoming any less once I did see it. So here we go with part 2 here. It's sort of weird to be playing a snow level at the moment because the weather is doing some weird things for early February. It is currently 73 degrees where I am. Okay, not indoors, but outside, and it's really screwing with my sinuses to have temperature bounce from being in the 40s and 30s to being now in the 60s and 70s. And I'm not really complaining about the fact that the weather's like this, just more concerned that, you know, things are going to get cold again and I'm going to have to adjust to that too, and then, you know, my sinuses are going to go crazy when that happens. MODOK drones or not, and of course now looks like we've got basically, I guess what we'd call a brute. Trying to play around with this here. And I'm just going to try to hold him back and keep him in that. Did I just knock him into the elevator? Okay, I didn't know you could do that. I mean, you know, I basically had caught him in sort of a stun lock pattern, but evidently I can force him to go down elevators. Now, another thing about these sort of little missions here where we attack the things. You see that those glowing ice chunks? I'm not sure, but I think they could be a spawn point for new enemies. So just, I'm not exactly sure if there's an actual number of enemies that there's going to be in a particular spot, or if you don't deal with the spawn point, you could keep running in enemies all day. And right now I have very little health, so I am. Okay, well, if you guys are going to ignore me, then I'm just going to beat this thing up. And so now there's just one left, and it's over here on top of this building. I can't tell if my super is topped off or not. But I'm definitely going to take care of these ice chunks first. Okay. I got one of the big guys with the super, but the other guy's still here. I'm going to use the fact that he's stuck on this obstacle to just pound him from distance, and we will find more friends. Okay, I didn't want more friends. Go away, friends. Alright. Well, unfortunately, I think we caught both of the big guys in the ultimate move there, but looks like all we did was break their shield. So, alright, well, let's try the make them run around a little bit. See if we can get them stuck on something. Okay, this guy is kicking ice. I'm not sure what that was all about. Hopefully, no, we weren't quite out of the way. Those guys have more reach than you think they do. I'm not really sure if that's just a hitbox failure or if they actually are able to do that. Okay, well that tops off my super meter, so I at least know I've got that available to me. And they despawn. How weird. That looks like somebody's back. But he's a different one because...
Wow.
He looks like a different one because I think his shield was undamaged, whereas the other guys, I had taken out their shields before. So now we're moving on to the next mission. So we've got... Okay. And we're just going to play soccer with the cars in the area because that's just something that we do. For the curious, I did not watch the Super Bowl. I was working at the time, unfortunately. But, and I was a little bit disappointed in the way the Patriots won, only in the fact that the 1971 Dallas Cowboys are no longer the only team to have held an opponent under a touchdown or out of the end zone in Super Bowl history. Okay, so we got another escort mission here. We'll be interested to see how generic the mayor is. He's also a long way away. Yeah, I don't really see how they expect you to play with Black Widow on a lot of this stuff. Oh. Hello. And goodbye. Just because of the amount of movement around the map you have to do, and now on the Ultimate Spider-Man map, there was a hover bike that worked really well, but I have yet to see that for this one. But again, they're expecting you to have at least Black Widow and Iron Man when you get this playset, so they're probably expecting you to do this mission as Iron Man. Alright, so now we're defending another Humvee with a VIP inside. At least this time, VIP is, as far as I know, defenseless. It's not like the time Captain Marvel was in there. There you go, guys. Eat that. Alright. Go play with you. Now at level 10, which I think happened off screen.
You did it! Great! But I bet the mayor's going to have a doozy of a headache.
All right!
Alright. So we saved the mayor from, I guess, Loki's mind control magic. And now we can move on to the next mission. Pick up some extra health, just make sure we're topped off there. As your character gains levels, things become easier to do. And by the time you hit level 20, your character should be pretty much overpowered, depending on how you've decided to deal with their skills and abilities. You know, if you've looked a little bit how to, I guess, min-max the situation, your character should be fine. If you decided to be good at everything, you'll probably be okay, but your character will probably be less effective.
Wow, this is just great. Now Loki's captured members of the UN and hypnotized them to tell their countries to surrender. You know the drill. Find the captured UN members and bring them to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s safe zone for deprogramming.
Alright, so now we have to go save members of the UN who are under Loki's mind control. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I started that fire. Not sure how I exactly did that, but yeah, it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't there before I got there.
Got one. Now make your way to the
Okay, so I have to
reverse the spell.
slap, quote unquote, UN delegation people and bring them over to the truck. And it looks as if we're going to have a little more resistance each time. Like, they didn't bother us on the first one. Now we've got some enemies on here. But they're not technically the main obstacle. I don't have to destroy them or anything. I'm still more interested in getting the UN members. The only reason I'm settling down to destroy these frost giants is because I just like having I want things to be relatively peaceful when I try to come back through here. Well, that's nice. Okay, yeah, we got a hole in there. We don't need to knock down all the ice.
Where are we going?
Okay, hung up on the light pole. That's good. It's a pretty resilient pole. All right, we just got one more person to find.
Twice next time.
I can't believe it.
All right, guy, just go down. Had enough sniffles for one episode. Okay, and I don't think that's what I wanted to do. That's one thing I don't like about those little pads. And I guess part of my annoyance with them is because I'm a flying character who doesn't need them. But they seem like they get more in the way than they do, than they help.
Got a destination
Okay.
in mind?
Like how the random UN delegation people are just walking around minding their own business.
And that's a wrap.
All right.
Oh, look at you go. I guess practice makes perfect.
Well, that wasn't so hard after all.
And I think that should take care of the Wasp missions. At least for the moment. So you can see there are only 2 exclamation points available to us. So that would be Nick Fury, who I think is... His missions, I think, are probably more in line with the main story. And then Captain Marvel, who also has her own set of missions. So next time we'll pick up back with the Nick Fury chain of missions.
No more
at least until